I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but it's a bad idea. Don't get these. All snakes. I love it. Let's do this, West Elm. Hello, my magical friends. It's August, so around these parts that means it is Halloween time. And even here in Salem, Halloween Town, our local stores don't always carry everything that's available online. And today I wanted to start off the Halloween season by looking at some of the more high-end stores, specifically the William Sonoma umbrella company. So that's William Sonoma, West Elm, Pottery Barn. What I am going to do is I'm going to look through their website and we're going to talk about some of the good, the bad, and the downright boring that they have and what I'm thinking about buying. And, you know, tell me in the comments if you're thinking about maybe adding some of these to your collection as well. I do like buying things at the more high-end stores. They come in metal or glass or ceramics rather than the plastics that you'd get at Target or something like that. For instance, this water glass I have right here, you can't really see the bottom and I'll spill it all over if I show you, but it's got this spider web at the bottom. I bought this at Pottery Barn last year. Usually I wait till November, to be perfectly honest. I wait until the sales in November. But let's cut to the chase and start looking at some items. Let's start with parent company William Sonoma. First off, I'm really disappointed with this header graphic because they have these really cool cauldron bowls and mugs, and they are just not available. I can't find them anywhere. I don't know what's up with that. They're in their header. This is what they're advertising. They don't have them, at least not on the website that's accessible to me. They also have a whole separate Day of the Dead section, which I think is interesting that they've split it out, saying that like it's not really Halloween, it's something else. It's not really something that I'm into, that aesthetic. I'm not Mexican heritage, and it's not a version of the Day of the Dead that anyone in my family celebrates, so I've pretty much ignored that section in my reviews here. So we'll start off with some of the things that I do think are good. There are a lot of these mini waffle irons available. We'll get to some of the other designs later because I don't like them so much, but the one I do like is this spider web. I think that the spiderweb pattern does lend itself well to the waffle process. So I do like this. It's $10. It's cute. This skull ice mold, my husband will tell you that I have a problem with buying ice cube molds that I never use. So this is something that I probably won't be picking up because I don't really use ice all that much, but I do like the 3D mold aspect of this. It's interesting that the image that they show of it, the ice didn't actually come out all that well, so maybe this is an iffy one, but I think it's cool looking. Here's the first of the food items that we'll be looking at today. William Sonoma has a lot of food items available in their specialty catalogs, and this is a beverage. It is called the Witch's Brew cocktail mixer, and this seems like something that could be recreated at home. So as I go through, let's talk about some of the more DIY-able things, and maybe you guys can vote on what I should try to make. This Witch's Brew cocktail mix. The ingredients are water, agave syrup, blood orange juice concentrate, blackberry juice concentrate, ginger juice, lemon juice concentrate, natural flavor, and more fruit juice for color and vegetable juice for color. So it seems like this is mostly blood orange and blackberry with some ginger to spice it up, and this seems very doable. So I'll see if I can do this in a separate video. Now there are a lot of spatulas available on William Sonoma, and these are the only ones that I would personally consider buying. I think they're very cute. I think they have these classic monster faces, but they're in a very minimalist way that I can see like we could use these all year round. And we do actually use a lot of little rubber spatulas in my house. My husband is of Polish descent and he eats a lot of mayonnaise on his food, and we use the spatulas to get the mayonnaise out of the jar. So these actually would be useful in my house, and I think they're very cute. So this coffin cheese board is a classic goth look. I think, you know, any goth household, you could use this all year round, and it's very cool looking. It's also $80 and seems like this would definitely be a DIY project. It's just a board with a couple of angle cuts and some handles applied to it. So I think this is definitely DIY-able. It's cute. I would not spend $80 for it. For another food item, this gingerbread kit is real cute. I also think I could do this myself, but if you're not particularly good at making gingerbread and sticking it all together, I know royal icing can be a real pain, this is a cute option. The one Day of the Dead thing from this collection that I would consider getting is these cookie shapes. So I think that it makes sense if you're going to be making the sugar skull cookies, these are a good option, and I do like these. Another cookie that they have are these slice and bakes. So these come fully in a roll and you slice them up and you cook them. Also very DIY-able, but very cute to look at. I have no idea what they taste like. They are $70, however, so again, I think this is another that I should try to DIY because I think that it's definitely something that does not need to be $70. And now for my very, very favorite thing at William Sonoma Halloween 2023, this cake pan of these little mini monster faces. I am very tempted at this. It's $45. If they still have it available at the end of the year in November for a discount, this will probably be on my list to pick up. This is like the one thing I'm really looking at. I do have a collection of molded cake pans, and I'm not great at getting the cake out in the shape. So if you have suggestions or recipes for cakes that demold easily, or what to grease the pan with, what to line it, I know on Bake Off sometimes I've seen them use powdered sugar to release. Anyway, if you have tips, please tell me in the comments, how do you get your cakes out of these pans, because I love these pans and I want more of them. Now we're going to talk about the bad at Williams Sonoma. These are the things that just don't make sense. We'll start off with two more waffle irons, the ghost and the pumpkin. They show them with the molded side up, but then you can clearly see that the waffle iron itself is waffle texture. So I assume that it's molded on one side and waffly on the other side. And just, like, how does that work? Because you need the waffle section to be up when you put the syrup on so that the syrup clings. Otherwise, this is going to flow off the top of these flat surfaces of this ghost and the pumpkin. It's just bad. Like, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but it's a bad idea. Don't get these. Vintage Halloween is usually my thing, but these plates are just so ugly. So, like, the color temperature is off. They just, I don't know, they're super ugly. These macarons, maybe they're delicious, but they're $50 for a set of 10, and this was the best photo they could take for the catalog. This is the best as they're gonna look. The ones you get are not gonna look any better than this. For $5 a cookie. No. Just say no. I'm just gonna flat out say, do not spend $330 on fake-ass pumpkins. You can get, if you need fake pumpkins, go to Michael's. If you need nice-looking pumpkins, go to a grocery store. They will be much cheaper either way you go. And the real pumpkins are completely compostable, or you can leave them out and feed them to the squirrels. If you don't carve them into jack-o'-lanterns, they will last through September, October, November. They won't go bad. And if you're worried about going them bad a little bit, wash them with bleach. It'll kill any bacteria that's in the outside, and they'll last even longer. But yeah, these expensive fake pumpkins, no, you don't need this bougie shit. And now we're at the boring part of Williams Sonoma, and I'm gonna say all of this peanut stuff. It is just bland. There's no design thought put into any of this. It is purely an IP grab. Slap Snoopy on a towel, we're done. Next. It's boring. It's not particularly bad, it's boring. You don't need this. It's too expensive, and there's nothing to it. And now these plates. There's nothing to them. This is like the most boring way possible that you can celebrate Halloween. It's just, what is this? And for the final boring, this wreath. There's been a lot of wreaths that have been so fine, whatever, that I haven't even showed to you. But I think it's the stripy bow on this and how it clashes with the leaves. It's just somehow they got a ugly fall wreath, and I don't know how they did it, but they did it, and skip it. Now we're on to Pottery Barn, which is the place that I have bought the most from in the past. I'm going to start off with the good, this cookie jar. Well, they call it a candy jar, but it's a cookie jar. It's expensive. I don't have countertop room for a cookie jar, but I like it a lot. I don't like it $80 a lot, but it's cool. I don't love this wreath, but it seems simple and DIY-able, and I kind of want to try to make it. So, putting it on my good list. I usually avoid ghosts when I'm shopping for Halloween decor because they're so Halloween specific, it seems. I don't know, I go for cats and bats and spiders and skulls. However, this pillow is very cute, possibly DIY-able. It does come in a version with a pumpkin, but that's much too specific for the holiday. So, I don't know, I like this guy. The skeleton serveware, I actually have several pieces of this in my collection already. I often buy 1 or 2 pieces each year. They keep coming out. I really like the serveware. This guy sitting in the coffin tub to serve your drinks, I like him a lot. There's just something funny about him. One of the pieces that I have from a previous year that they have back this year is these salad serving utensils. They're honestly not all that practical. I've used them. Don't use them in a glass bowl because they're heavy metal and I'm paranoid every time that they're going to just shatter the glass bowl. In general, I think they're kind of groovy looking, but they're not, I'll be honest, they're not entirely practical. This bat doormat, it's pretty cute. These bat dishes, I bought them last year. Granted, I bought them last year when they were like 65% off in November, but I have purchased them and I do not regret it. Another DIY-able bat option are these napkin rings, so might try to make these. This wreath hanger is really cool. If I get a wreath, I probably won't get a wreath till after the holiday, and then when would I use it? So maybe not so practical for what I would use it for, but I do like it a lot. They had similar ones last year that they were marketing as lantern holders, that they were in a few different positions of the wrist, but I do like these. And this bat serving bowl. You can always use a nice serving bowl, and I do like this one a lot. Again, not $100 a lot, but once it goes on sale in November, it's a definite possibility. Okay, and you know Pottery Barn has got some bad stuff to balance out the good stuff, so we will start this $150 of terrible skull party bucket. Just, yeah, you could DIY this and it would be better. It's terrible, and I'm not going to try to DIY it because why would you want this sitting around your house? Where do you even store this thing? It's just bad. So this is probably not a bad item on its own, but who spends this kind of money buying fake skeletons at Pottery Barn? Like, just go to Michael's or Home Depot or anywhere. They're going to be cheaper. They're going to be just as good. Skip it. These ghosts just look cliched. You can buy them at Hallmark. You could skip. Now this serving tray is, at first, I was like, ooh, that seems cool. But then I really thought about it, and I've bought things like this before, and I've always been disappointed in them. The cups are always too small. You can't see the design of the plate once you have chips or whatever all over it, so you don't even know what it is. It's better in theory than it is in reality, so I would say don't get this one. So this one, it was almost going to go on my good list. I really like the idea of a Halloween advent calendar, but not this one. This one doesn't have doors on all of the dates. Some of them are just holes in the house, so you can see what it is all the time. And if you're using cookies or candy or something, they're going to go bad just exposed to air like that, and you can see what they are ahead of time. It completely negates the idea of the advent calendar. So I like the concept of a Halloween advent calendar. I do not like this particular execution. So these skeleton glasses, and in fact the whole line of skeleton glassware that they have, it just, don't these seem really uncomfortable to hold? Like, just imagine that in your hand trying to have a drink. It's just bad idea all around. I do not like this collection at all. And now we're on to the boring, and Pottery Barn is bringing the beige, because nothing says Halloween fun times like some beige pumpkins. This is, you know who you are if you like these, and you're probably not hanging out with me. honestly. Like, we just have very different tastes. If you're into this, I don't know why you're watching this video, because we have very, very different tastes. Also, I've seen similar to these every year at Home Goods, so I'm sure you could get them much cheaper, not at Pottery Barn. These pumpkin glasses, honestly, they're not bad. They're just, I don't know, they're too cutesy for me. There's a really fine line, and I'm not sure where it is until I see it. But there's a line between fun and cutesy that I don't cross. And these are just a little too cliched and cutesy for me. They probably go really well with those boring pumpkin plates that we saw at William Sonoma. So if you're into those, that would probably make a good combination, and you could go full themed boring pumpkins. More beige pumpkins. I hate them. And more peanuts. So these are not as bad as the ones at William Sonoma. These look like they put some effort into designing, doing the layout, but still, it's just a boring IP grab. You do not need these. You're not going to use them throughout the year. You don't want these. Yikes. No. Just no. Go away. Go away fast. Okay, so that was the Good, the Bad, the Boring at Pottery Barn, the main store. Let's talk about Pottery Barn Kids and Teen just briefly. They don't have as much stuff, so they're not going to have something in every category, but we'll see what they have. For the Good at Pottery Barn Kids, I really like this basket. It is rattan, so it'd be difficult to clean if you put certain food items in there, but it's cool looking. I like this basket. I really like these bat lanterns. I mean, it's $100. That's kind of expensive, but again, after Halloween, they'll probably be significantly reduced in price. I would put these on my porch year-round. That's one of the great things about living in Salem, is that you can just have bat lanterns on your porch year-round, and everyone say, oh yeah, that's totally normal. For the boring, we have these Mickey ghosts. It's another boring IP grab, just no. And because it's so small, we don't have anything in the bad collection here. For Pottery Barn Teen, I actually really like this Harry Potter lamp. I would never buy it because fuck J.K. Rowling, but I think it's a cool looking lamp. These Hello Kitty pajamas have me seriously contemplating if I can fit into a large teen size, because I like Hello Kitty, I like Halloween, I like glow in the dark, I need some new pajamas. I have thoughts. And another ghost pillow. I don't know, ghost pillows are really doing something for me this year. This guy is very adorable. I like him. And we don't have anything in bad or boring for Pottery Barn Teen. Like I said, the collections were very small. And for our last store, we are at West Elm. And this is probably my favorite of the collections. This opening image that they have, like, I was like, yes, I want them. Snakes. All snakes. I love it. Let's do this, West Elm. So we're going to start off strong with this doormat. Now, I've been reading a lot about feng shui, and I know that my front door is in the southeast, so green doormats are very good for me, and snakes are actually, they have long been considered a protective animal in Hellenic mysticism because, you know, they eat rodents and stuff. So I really like this. I also think I could make this myself. It's not all that expensive. It's only $30 to $40 depending on the size, but I think I could make this myself and do my own twist on it. So this is definitely on my list of things to try to make myself. These little skeletons, I probably wouldn't buy these, but again, this is something I feel I could make myself and it would be a fun project, so I might try to make these. This pillow is very low-key Halloween. I think a lot of people, not just goths, but a lot of people could put this in their living room year-round, and it would just be a cool glittery snake pillow. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I can't DIY this one. Another pillow that would fit most decors year-round, this kind of sun and moon pattern. This seems to just be embroidery, and I think I could DIY this one, so this might be something I could try. These plates. These plates are definitely going on my list for after holiday sales in November. I just really like these. I would eat my lunch off them every single day. And unlike the Pottery Barn skeleton glasses, which seemed really awkward to hold on to, these snake glasses that West Elm has, I am digging these a lot. I think these are really cool looking. They're way too expensive. Like that price you see, the $30 to $120, that's a $30 per glass. That's not the kind of lifestyle I'm living, but they are very cool looking. And the snake tray that they're on is also very cool looking, and I can see using this in other parts of the decor year round. Again, it's $100. I'll see what the sales bring. We have another low-key pillow. This could work in a lot of decors. It's even beige. I mean, it'll go in your decor, and you can keep it around all year long. Now, West Elm, in their whole snake theme, they have a lot of snake candle holders. Some of them I really like, some of them I don't. Let's talk about the ones I like. This votive with the snakes wrapped around the votives. Awesome. This hurricane glass to hold a large pillar candle. Very cool. These two taper holders. They're very different looking, but they are also very cool looking. Okay, and now we were on to the last bad section of the day. These skulls with flowers on them are hideous. And I know someone's going to say, oh, they're for the Day of the Dead. It's the chrysanthemums. No one in Mexico is buying these for their Day of the Dead celebration. Like, they're ugly. They're ugly. And what is this underbite? It's hideous. It's hideous. I don't believe this passed through committees to get to where it is right now. It's just say no to this hideous skull. More ugly skulls with flowers. These time they're plant pots. Again, I think I see where they were going with the idea, but they failed at the execution. Okay, and we are at the snake candle holder that I did not like. This one to hold tapers, it looks like the snake has been stabbed multiple times and is writhing in pain. So I'm going to say pass on this one. And for the very last thing that we have on this list, we have a boring, and it's these snake plates. They are the kind of this dull gray color. There's nothing to them, and the snake is a raised pattern, and you can even see in this image that they're difficult to stack because you have to make sure that you alternate which side it's raised on, or you have the leaning tower of plates. I'm going to say pass on these snake plates. And that does it for the William Sonoma companies. They actually do have a few additional companies if you're curious as to what the William Sonoma, extended universe looks like. They have Rejuvenation, the lighting company. Nothing Halloween specific there. They have Green Row, which is specifically for sustainable living. I guess they couldn't make Pottery Barn sustainable. They needed a branch off for a whole nother company to kind of segregate that stuff. And then they have Mark and Graham, which is customized with like your name or your monogram on them. And they do technically have some Halloween stuff, but it's really just their normal stuff that somebody had Boo put on for their customization. So I didn't think that was worth showing you all. So that's what it is. I will be putting a poll up in the community tab asking you which one of these I should try to recreate. And I can do that on video, and we can see how far we get. So thank you so much for watching. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing that, liking this video, leave me a comment, tell me what you're thinking about getting and what looks good to you, and also how do you unmold cake pans from those molded detailed cake trays, because it's a challenge. So thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you soon.